Hello, good day viewers. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to evaluate radical expressions like this without using calculator. So I picked this question from the set of questions Aisha Bande set for her class. You can follow her as well. So we are asked to evaluate the fourth root of 0.4509 without using calculator. So we are going to learn so many things in this tutorial. Number one, we are going to learn how to apply logarithms in dealing with such problems. We are going to learn how to evaluate logarithm of numbers less than 1. We are going to learn how to divide numbers that contain bars. So let's get started. First of all, you should let the whole of this expression to be a variable like x, y, or z. So let the x to be equal to the fourth root of 0.4509. Secondly, according to one of the laws of logarithm, according to one of the laws of indices, if you have nth root of a, for example, this is the same thing as a raised to the power 1 over n. We are going to apply the same thing here. So x will be equal to 0.4509 raised to the power 1 over 4, for which n is equal to 4 here. Now we are going to introduce logarithm. Take log on both sides. We have log of x equal to log of 0.4509 to the power of 1 over 4. Another law of logarithm which stated that log of e raised to the power of n is equal to n multiplied by log of e is what we are going to apply here in order to drop this exponent down. So we have log of x to be equal to 1 over 4 multiplied by log of 0.4509. We are there. Right. We are going to introduce logarithm. So how can we find the log of this number without using calculator? This is why I have my table right here. So this is table of logarithm. Maybe I'm going to display it on the screen. The first column here is where it showcases all the numbers. So let me show you how to do that first of all. Since we are looking for the log of this number, we are coming back for this. It means that whatever we obtain here, we are going to divide it by 4. So forget about log of x. In the end, we have to take anti-logarithm to get rid of this log because we are looking for x. Remember, x is this. So you have your number here. Number, then you have your log here, logarithm. The number we want to find its log is 0.4509, right? 0.4509. So how can we find log of this number? Log of any number comprises of two parts: the characteristics plus the mantissa. So once you obtain the characteristics, you add it to the mantissa, it will give us the log of that number. So what is characteristics of a number? Characteristics of a number is the power of 10 when the number is transformed into its standard form. Let's change this number to standard form. It will be 4.509 times 10 raised to the power of -1. If you want to transform any number to standard form, just take the decimal point to the first significant number. In this case, the first significant number here is 4. Just take this point here. And as you're coming from the left to the right, the power of 10 will be negative. As you're coming from the right to the left, it will be positive. So therefore, power of 10 here, which is -1, is going to be the characteristics. But in logarithm, we don't write it as -1. We write it as bar 1. Bar 1. Then you add the mantissa. How can we obtain the mantissa? Let me show you. You come to your log table. You look for, you consider only those important numbers. You assume the number does not contain a decimal point. So it will be what? 4,509. Just assume it has no decimal point, whatever it is. Even if it is 45.09, just consider it as 4,509. So you look for the first two digits on the first column here. So I'm going to look for 49. No, sorry, 45. So I have 45 here. Under the first column, you see it begins with 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on, because we are in base 10. It begins with 10. So the characteristics, after looking for 49 under the first column, you look for 0, because it has 3 segments. The first one is the number you are looking for, the first 2 numbers. Then the second one is the under logarithm table, you see numbers from the top, 0 to 9. So we are going to locate 0. So what is that value under 0? We have 0 0.6532. Let me write it. 0.6532. We are not done yet. Then you look for 9 at the end where it reads mean difference. You look under 9 because it has 1 to 9. So under 9 we have 9. Then you add 9 here. You add. This is 11. Bring 1 here. 4, 5, 6, 0 point whatever. So it means that this number, you write it here. 0.6541. So the moment you add these 2 numbers together, you have bar 1.6541, because you have to add it under here, right? But I'm not going to add it yet because I'm not done. We have to divide the result by 4. So we're going to divide the whole of this by 4. Let me do it elsewhere. How can we divide that number by another number? That's what many students find difficult. How can we divide this number by 4? So let me take it. You cannot divide it by 4 unless if this number here is bar 4 or any other multiple of 4, like 8, 12, 16, and so on. So how can we change bar 1 to bar 4? We are going to add bar 3 here to make it bar 4. But we have to add 3 because this bar 1 is the same thing as negative 1. So it's like we are adding negative 3 to make it negative 4. But we have to add positive 3. So this number can be written as bar 1 plus bar 3, then plus 3 plus 0.6541. Look at it. Remember, we are going to divide this by 4. So we have added negative 3. We added 3, we subtract 3 is 0, right? So this becomes bar 3 plus 3.6541 divide, oh, this is bar 4, sorry, divide by 4. So now you can easily divide bar 4 by this. So let's do that. Bar 4 divided by 4 is bar 1 plus 3 divided by 4 is not possible, right? You write 0, you add point, you join the 2 numbers together, it becomes 36. Divided by 4 is 9. Then we move to the next 5. 5 divided by 4 is 1, but we still have 1 left. You bring it here, it becomes 14. 14 divided by 4, I think, is 3, but we still have a remainder of 2. Bring that 2 here to make it 21. 4 into 21 is 5. We still have remainder, but we have to stop here because we do not have any other numbers. So if you join this together, you have bar 1.9135. So this is said to be the whole of this. So log x, where should I write it? Let me write it here. Therefore, log x is equal to bar 1.9135. But we are not looking for log x, rather x. So x will be what? Antilog of this number. But under antilog, numbers begins with point something. Therefore, you have to find antilog of 0.91 under 3 difference of 5. So let me go to antilog table. It all begins with 0 point something. So I'm going to look for 0.91. 0.91, I have it here. First column. Then under 3, what do I have? Under 3, I have 8.185. Let me write it here. 8.185 plus difference of 5. You go to the last where it reads mean difference. Under 5, we have 9. So you add 9 to this number. This will give us I don't have much space here, but let me move to the top. 5 plus 9 is 14, right? We have 1, you bring it here, it becomes 9. We have 1, we have point here. So this is our x value. Then times 10 raised to the power of negative 1. If this number is by 2, negative 2. If it is positive number 1, raised to the power of 1. So raised to the power of negative 1, which is going to transform this negative sign, which is going to shift this decimal point backward once. So you have 0.8194 as the value of x. And since we have let the whole of this to be x, so you conclude, therefore, the fourth root of 0.4509 is equal to 0.8194. You can use your calculator to confirm whether this is true. Though it cannot be exactly the same, but approximately the same. Simple. Bye-bye.